In the good marketing space, this is the challenge because it's very tempting to put all of your energy on the lobby, the thing that creates the expectation that when I book a room here, it's going to be nice and elegant and match what I've experienced in my first impressions here. Winter vacation season.
Matt, what do you think? Is vacationing and travel the same as it was like 5 years ago?
Oh, absolutely not. Now, for us, there's like so many shifts that have happened, but it's interesting to see if there were things that you experienced pre-COVID and then post-COVID. There's a stark contrast in so many different areas, right? Like sometimes it's been for the better. Like this was not even a thing, and now it's like a booming, amazing thing. I can think of all these like cool pop-up restaurants or shops or things like that, or outdoor things that like this didn't. There was an industrial space, it's classic LA. There's an industrial space that kind of did nothing. There was like a brewery in there, and now all of a sudden they did this whole alley concept, and it's awesome. And you're like, like COVID pushed that. They're like, we needed outdoor gathering, commerce, and so they created this really cool alley space, and so stuff like that. And then other things, you're like, man, how many businesses died over COVID or have like. You think they've recovered and they haven't. So that's over the last week. I went with the family up to Lake Arrowhead. So we like the snow. So I've got toddlers and they love the snow. And last year we did Big Bear, which is right there. And my wife was like, I'd like to drive a little bit, not as far. Because it really does. It cuts off about an hour if you go like Lake Arrowhead
the two are big difference.
Versus Big Bear. And that's like an hour of windy roads. And my wife gets cars. Like you get less snow. It's not as high up there, and I think it's more sun side of those mountains there. And so we went to Lake Arrowhead. We stayed at the Lake Arrowhead Resort, which is the only hotel. This is the other considering factor, right? 2 little kids. And I think for us, we've learned more and more so like a great vacation, even a short trip, is one where you don't have to do dishes. And so renting an Airbnb is like...
It's not a vacation.
It's not the same, right? It's still fun to be in a different spot, but you're like, I did just as many dishes. In our case, more dishes. Like I can't even outsource the dishes now because I'm here. Like no one came along with me. It's just me. So I do more dishes on vacation where we have to do Airbnb. So we did Lake Arrowhead, stayed at the Lake Arrowhead Resort, and we'd stayed there prior to COVID. And it was remarkable to me, the contrast between the lobby and the rooms. It was dramatic. And no offense, I think they've priced accordingly because you look and you're like, it's the only hotel. It's the only hotel up there. That's like another contributing factor. So they've got like zero. Their competition is Airbnbs, but for a hotel, like that's it. There's maybe little motels and inns, but it felt dramatic, the difference between the rooms and the lobby. And so you walk in, and I think they'd even updated the lobby post COVID. Like they had new, huge, like floor to ceiling, wood walls and nice furniture, and it felt good. The restaurant there, definitely updated look and feel and really, really nice. They had a spa, looks all really nice. You go into the rooms and it was like, I think the biggest contrast is it felt like they cut their cleaning costs.
Yeah, like, it's rough.
They had, for power, right, left and right of the bed, you like regular hotel, they'd have like, I don't know, a lamp with like power in it. They did not have that. They had, the power was directly behind the bed. And what I realized is they had plugged in this like green extension cord to get power. Like you choose which side of the bed. But I look over, I'm like trying to figure this out. It is just coated in dust. It is just very dirty. And you're like, I don't think you've cleaned this since before COVID. Like this isn't like you cleaned it, even in the last year. It was that just disgusting that you're almost like there's a conscious decision. They've just said like, no, we're just not going to clean. And that was Erica. She caught that too. Like they had like, it's, room cleaning service. They'd come, they like took out the towels and took away the towels, but they didn't like take the trash or make the bed. They're just
that was a towel refresh, not a clean, not a room clean.
Yeah. And I'm not saying they may have not.
This isn't about criticizing them, right? This to me, like, how is this similar to what sometimes happens in other businesses? Like where we're really good about cleaning up our lobby, but we're leaving dust on things that actually are important.
Well, and this is, that's what it made me think of is in the good marketing space. This is the challenge. This is the challenge because it's very tempting to put all of your energy on the lobby, the thing that creates the expectation that when I book a room here, it's going to be nice and elegant and match what I've experienced in my first impressions here. And so it's really challenging because I'll say if you have to choose between on sales and fulfillment, which are, this kind of back and forth, if you focus entirely on sales and nothing on fulfillment, you will make money. You'll have a horrible reputation, but for a season, you'll make money. If you focus entirely on fulfillment and you don't focus on sales or marketing, you will go out of business. And that is like the big chunk of business attempts are in that space where they really did. They focused on having great, amazing rooms, but there was no reason for someone to buy. So they never had the opportunity to experience how good it really was. But so that's the challenge. When you unlock the skill of marketing, you get better at this and you do some sales and marketing, it's almost a perverse incentive. It's a delayed gratification. It's a discipline to still prioritize the fulfillment. So how we talk about it and the language I've used before is I want to make people feel like we care more about our customers than we do our prospects. Or at least I'm going to try to guard from the perception that we care more about our prospects than our customers. And that's the balance that you have to wrestle with when you're good at marketing, is it can come off like you care more about your prospects than you do your customers because all of your language, your conversation, your free value, all of your front end experiences are really top tier. And then when you commit, you become a customer, you check into the room, you realize, my goodness, they're not even cleaning this thing. Like I will say for the hotel, they were consistent. I don't think they were cleaning the lobby either. Like you had to look closely, but I was like, I think it's just the cleaning budget is cut here. So.
And what's interesting, I love that analogy and the example of like fulfillment versus sales. And have you ever had the opposite experience where you go into a lobby and it's okay? And you book a room that you think is nice, but then you go in and you're like, oh, this is bigger than I thought, or it's nicer than I thought, or they went above and beyond and put mints on the pillow, like, which still happens sometimes. That the opposite experience and the surprise and delight. And I think Matt, that's something that you really try to do a lot in your businesses is find those ways where the relationship begins at the lobby, not ends at the lobby, right?
Yeah, no, that's a good, I think that's a good thing for us to unpack here. So this just, speaks to the problem is as you get better at marketing, you can fall into the trap of focusing entirely on marketing and lacking on fulfillment or a mismatch of expectations here. And so being conscious of that is kind of step one. And then how do you combat it? So you can combat this by predictably over delivering. So you intentionally hold back all that you could market or all that you could use for your sales process, right? So at those hotels, they don't say, chocolate on your pillow. Like they're not advertising that. Maybe it would impact sales, but they're not creating the expectation. You say like, why not? You're actually doing it. It's because they know if you want to predictably exceed expectations, you have to not set an expectation for something you are going to deliver. And so that's the strategy here. In a sense, it's still marketing. You're still connecting value there, but it's marketing post sale. How do you continue to make a person feel like their decision to buy was a great decision? And so we'll withhold things. And this happens all the time. Like I know in the value stack, we don't list out everything that we give because I want to have the experience of, oh, this was unexpected. This was a chocolate, on my pillow or mint on my pillow, or, oh, this was nice. They did like, there's little things they found to like escalate it. Like if they do towel art, I don't know if you've seen this, where like they craft the towel into an animal.
Yeah.
Totally unexpected. Costs absolutely nothing, or it's fixed costs. You could train at any hotel out there. If you're like, how would you surprise and delight? Get the training, train all of your staff so they know how to make towel animals. And now you put towel animals in it. Like if they had no marginal costs, fixed costs up front of training, once they've got it, like you could teach them 3 animals and that's it, like, or 2 animals. It doesn't matter.
I love that one because every time I have I see friends go on cruises, they all share those animals. More than like pictures of other things happening.
They share the towel.
And it's fascinating. It's also like, oh man, they're advertising it for them too. Like it creates the reciprocity.
Well, and if we carry the metaphor, this is a lot of times why I see people like, I don't want to surprise and delight too much because it's eating into my bottom line. Like I spent all the money to acquire it, and like towel animals are the perfect example of.
I love it.
Fixed costs, no marginal costs to deliver, and why? It's the creativity. it is the personalized touches. It's actually they're playing on the odds. It especially hits well in that case in hospitality when you have kids, because they assume you did it for the kids, right? Like, and so then they think like, oh, they saw we had kids, they did this, and like they're like, no, we just know hotels. Like, odds are, you're gonna have it, especially in certain hotel situations where they already cater to families, they drive families there. But either way, it's so out of the box that it elevates the experience more so than a mint or a candy or something like that. And you'd be like, and it costs less. It costs less to actually do, in terms of the marginal cost of fulfillment there. And so if you're thinking about your marketing, like the two critical things that I would take away from this is, one, as you start to do it well, it will accidentally happen to you. You will start to gain traction and you will be tempted to double down on effect. Like anytime you have any sort of aspect of the offer, like lead out front, add it to the stack, add it to the value. You want to advertise everything because you realize advertising works. Resist that urge and hold back, intentionally hold back. And as you're holding things back, you can also strategically think about where are areas for us that are effectively like towel art. We are already going to deliver on it anyways, but there is a skill that we can maybe give to our team that has maybe a fixed cost of nuance, of training, of just skill development that has no marginal cost to deliver, but makes the experience feel elevated. And so we're going to intentionally not market it, but we are going to make our folks feel like we care more about our customers than we do our prospects.
Love it. Awesome. I think those are two solid exercise for everyone. And so hopefully this has been a good episode for you.